down there?
Like at the front door for people?
Or, yeah, somewhere. We're going to use it near the beginning of the service.
Oh, should I
Just
pass
for
them out or not?
explanations. Yeah, it's fine to pass them out, I don't care.
Okay. You guys got them?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Boy, it's really hot. Don't know why it's so hot. All right. We need an air conditioner. Blow the air. Who is doing candles? Anybody?
I can.
Good, perfect.
Wait, is there something,
First you do page 3, pick one of the story, one of the little
Okay.
sections, and then go to page 2 for the Baruch Atah Adonai.
Okay. I hope I don't screw it up.
You can't. Not allowed. You see it over there? Okay. You both can come up.
Oh, no, that's okay. She'll do it.
Okay.
Yes.
Men can do it, women can do it. We like the generic.
Yeah.
Don't be shy, Brian.
I think it's shy. It's not shy.
It's not shy.
Is it time? It's time.
I've got a lot of food if you make. Okay. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Take your top one out, it's easier.
Take the candle out.
Yeah, just take the candle and the little round one. Or maybe not.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And we continue on page 9. And we join together at the bottom of the page. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, For Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness. For Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. And we turn the page. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tovu manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tovu manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. 11, second to the bottom. Ki eshmera Shabbat el yishmereni. Ki eshmera Shabbat el yishmereni. Oti leomeyad beno uveni. And we are continuing in a moment. There we go. Page 20. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shahamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Bat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, meherosh mikedem nisucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshevati la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hi torari, ki va'orech kumi ori, uri, shir daberi, kivod Adonai alayich nihigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise. Bo'oi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha uv'tzohola, toch emunei am segula, bo'oi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Have a seat, page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We are going to be turning the page, but you don't have to because you're going to have sheets first. I've had a couple people tell me that they would like to understand during services a little bit more about what's happening. And so what I'm doing is I'm picking little sections, and different weeks we'll do something slightly different to explain it. Anybody not have one of these? Okay. So we start off looking at the Aramaic. And you don't have to know to read it or not, but if you look up, the Aramaic is composed during Babylonian exile. So a really long time ago when Jews acquired Aramaic. And it was based on Ezekiel, and it was based on chapter 26, verse 4. We're not going to go into that particular passage right now. And the reason that we're not doing that is because we'll catch on to it later on another week. We are taught different types of Kaddish. Kaddish has really specific meanings. So when we talk about Kaddish, we have a whole bunch of prayers that are nice prayers, like teach me, O God, a blessing and a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, and it goes on. But we're not really hearing what the prayer means, because most people are looking at the Hebrew. So the types of Kaddish that happen are three different kinds. The first kind of Kaddish is the Kaddish for people who have died. And that's called the Kaddish Sholom. And it means the full Kaddish. The second one is for rabbis and scholars and students of Torah. And they are supposed to end the study of Talmud or Mishnah together there, and really focus on the rabbis and the scholars and the students, because they were in their classrooms, or not exactly classroom, but they were in there, and they were studying and working together, and they were trying to understand what all these sections meant. What would the third section be? I think you all know this. It starts out with the Chatzi Kaddish. Okay? And the Chatzi Kaddish is a partial Kaddish. It's not a full Kaddish. And it is called Kaddish Titkabel, and it means that we, as the reader, the person who is the reader, has to recite, and it has to be only by the reader itself. It's not a whole group of people, it's one person reading for everybody. Turning the page, and we'll come back to this after we have gone over these couple passages. Turning the page, though, we are talking to God, and we are saying that we are monotheistic, and it is not enough to walk away. So, how is our voice different then from what other faiths have? What do we do that's different that makes us stand out in an unusual way? Is there something that you could imagine that you could be talking to God about other faiths, knowing that it's not our faith? And that's good, that's fine. Our faith, our view of God is different from that of other faiths. Okay? Make sense? There are 3 different answers around the benedictions. Now we are about, what we're going to do in just a little bit, because I'm going to do the explanations and then we'll come back to do the actual verbiage. But we have 3 different things that we have to pay attention to when we are in the beginning service. If you look, it says Shema uvirchotecha. And the Shema uvirchotecha has to do with creation, revelation, and redemption. And that goes into just about all of the services. And so we have to really focus and understand on what we're doing and why we're doing, and the classical statements that have been made for Jewish theology over thousands of years. We do, after we say the creation, revelation, and redemption, we do say to people, you can rise up to life renewed now. We continue with these blessings, and they go as follows. The worship service, as the elaborate sequence of blessings, one after another, is a blessing for all of us. The congregation itself does not exist until the Baruch Hu. Okay? Everything up until the Baruch Hu does not exist for the rest of the community. And so the congregation together starts and says, Baruch Hu et Adonai Baruch. But everything beforehand is like wake up stuff. Okay. So Baruch Hu has told us that, and then we say we go back at least when we are looking at the prayer book to the 2nd century, and we know these prayers. They are most likely based on Nehemiah, and that happened starting in about 70, and we ask God to bless us, which is the custom of rising and how we respond to God. At the same time, when we're looking at the Baruch Hu, we do not say the Baruch Hu at home without a minyan or at home alone. That prayer is supposed to be the welcome prayer, sort of like, okay guys, everybody's warmed up, you're all ready, you're thinking, and now it's time to come in and really get started. Okay? There is a classic statement that we're taught. We're taught that God created the world, God revealed the world to the chosen people of Israel, and having delivered Israel from Egyptian bondage once, promises again happen, and for all that time to redeem them, and in the world in which we live, we start to understand and feel inside of ourselves what this all means. So Nehemiah tells us to stand up. Don't do it yet. And we rise and we bless God, and these are the words of Nehemiah. Rise and bless Adonai, who is from eternity to eternity. May your glorious name be blessed and exalted, although it is above every blessing and praise. So here we are with Nehemiah saying, this is really important. We have to focus on God, and we have to be trying to do what is needed to be done. We then continue with the Hallel prayer, parts of it, And we invite and acknowledge all kinds of people to come and join us and to recognize God. If you look at the bottom of the page on 28, you will see the prayer leader at the word Baruch Hu does something. What's the prayer leader doing? Under the line.
Bend and bow.
Bend and bow, right? So the prayer leader at the word Baruch Hu says that, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to say, thank you, God, but first you have to bend your knees, because you have to say you are losing part of who you are because God is much stronger than we are. So we bend our knees and then we bow. So it's sort of like an extra bowing. And it comes from the waist. And at Adonai, the person stands up. Okay, so with those words, we keep those ideas and we say, yes, we are bending down, we are bowing, we are straightening up because we're trying really hard. And the communal response is in here as well, and you've seen that. I have a short little tiny story. I think it's special. And this is a story that one of my teachers taught us when we were in rabbinic school. And this is what he said. And he's talking about the people around and what does it mean. Okay. A simple man came to the synagogue once. During most of the service, he just sat there and he listened, for he did not know very much. He could not even read the prayer book around him. All around him, the members of the congregation were standing in prayer, each person speaking with God in a whisper. And the simple man wished to speak with God too. He wished to tell God what a magnificent world God had made. He wished to thank God for the blessings of health and life, but he could not find the right words to say. When he thought his heart would break from shame and sadness, he said, "Oh God, I cannot speak a beautiful prayer for you because I am a simple person, and I have forgotten what I studied. I am not so good with words. But you, oh God, you know how to do everything. So I will give you the aleph, and I will give you the bet, and you can make a beautiful prayer for yourself." And then the man recited aleph, bet, gimel, and dalet. There is one who sings a song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings out with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, all filling the universe with song. Nivarech, we will bless. Larry Hoffman, one of our teachers, taught us that originally maybe Kaddish had been associated with the Kaddish that we understand. And we have continued in that service as we've gone through. Prior to the Crusades, it would not have been said at all. Instead, they would have said just the benediction about the Shema. Everything else wouldn't be there. And instead, Rabbi Hoffman said that if we were living 3,000 years ago, we would say, "Blessed are you," and leaving a little space, and commanding us regarding the commandment of reading the Shema, to declare his royalty with full intention and his unity with good intent, and to serve God with a willing body. By using 3 letters, the bet, the resh, and the chaf at the start, we are asked to transcend ourself, centered and viewed of the world, and of our self-congratulating. Deuteronomy, we're told, says, "My strength and the power of my hand has accomplished all of these things." And then we're told, keep saying it. Keep saying Baruch. Keep saying what it means. Throw out the reinforcements of our humanity versus God's eternality, versus God as creator. Baruch Hu evokes awe and fear, but also moves us to praise and to thank God. A slight little deviation is the Sephardic Jews. And for those of you who are somewhat familiar with them, they appear in quite a number of services. So the Sephardim in services begin and they end at the beginning of the service and at the end of the service, and they make sure that there's always a prayer at the beginning and a prayer at the end. And the reason for that is because if they're late, and if they're late, everybody's got to wait and recite together, so you expand it out a little bit and it works. Baruch Hu reminds us that we are acknowledging God's sovereignty throughout the service until we have left the sanctuary. One more thought. Many of you know the prayer that we do sometimes on Friday nights. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, and continues on. Saadia Gaon was trying to be the leader of the community. The leader of the community was really the years were about 882 to 942. But he never put any of that in his prayer book because he never thought he should do that. A short while later, Amram Gaon came and went to God and said, God, I want to understand prayer. I want to understand the meaning of prayer, and I need to try really hard. I need to do everything that I possibly can. And so he said that there's a sentence that asks for God to continue. What would God ask for to continue for us? We continue blessings. We bless God, and God blesses us. We are told that day and night, synonymous with good and bad, synonymous with knowledge and ignorance, synonymous with happiness and misery, we try really hard. We make a lot of mistakes, but we try really hard. The second part of that prayer is the nighttime prayer, and that's a time that people say, oh, this is really dark, and we don't see God, we don't feel God, we can't hear God, what should we do? But the dawn always comes in the morning, and we are told that beginning a new hopeful era after a night of misfortunes brings sunshine to all of us. Adonai Tzevaot, this is one of many names that can help elucidate God's attributes. God designs, God creates and arranges the universe with order and with purpose. The darkness of the first day differed from the darkness that preceded creation. The root ma'ariv can also mean mix, suggesting God mixed light into the primordial darkness. The tiniest little spark of light can transform the darkness. And as we've done just a little bit, just a little part of this, looking and studying and learning just a little bit more, it takes us to a place that brings a little bit more light and a little bit more happiness and a little bit more joy. Comments? Okay. Page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Nihi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruchuni l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Nihi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Teichem l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Nihi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Page 26. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. V'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, ba'agala, uv'izman kariv. V'meru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam omehamaya. Yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, shemei kudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma, b'meru amen. La 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 la. Baruch et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Page 31 together at the top. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, Amecha ahaveta, Amcha ahaveta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shofmenu, uvkumenu nahasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayeinu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. V'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai Together you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem, Emet. Page 39. Together. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be at one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh. No ra tehilot oseh fela, no ra tehilot oseh fela. Go ahead. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאולו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 42. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Spread over all of us the Sukkot of Shalom. Spread over all of us the Sukkot of Shalom. Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Page 44. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. V'ni u'v'en b'nei Yisrael od hi le'olam, od hi le'olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasod et hashabat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasod et hashabat lidorotam berit olam. Page 46. Please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Mekonei HaKol, V'zocher Chastei Avot v'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Laman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Someach Noflim V'Rafeh Cholim, Umatir Asuim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanat al hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Turn please to page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57, top paragraph. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our prayers and our deeds. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Please be seated. Top paragraph on page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us, For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha u'lechana el lehodot. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha livarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. And if you're turning the page, turn to 253. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us all say, Amen. So at this time, we think of all those who are in need of healing, and we hope and we pray for each of them to renew their healing. David Chesley, Betty and Ralph Hurwitz, Rona Kelly, Margaret Amelia Lamb, Barbara Spiro. Is there anybody else?
Cheryl Stern.
Do you want to say anything about her? Because she said she wanted visitors.
Wants visitors.
Today. She told me today she wanted
At
visitors.
her house? Or?
No, at the hospital.
Okay, she's in the hospital. And we'll hopefully go home within the next couple of days.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Jillian Lee Zorgan and Jeffrey Rothschild.
Okay. Anybody else? We join together in the Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha L'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing.
Rabbi, I'd like to mention my nephew, who I accidentally left him out, Ron Rothschild, and I certainly wish for him a refresh now.
And we all wish the same as well for him.
Amen.
All right. Please turn to 258, 259. Top paragraph on 258. Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion in prayer, support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. On page 259. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of a hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, and spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. We're going to turn now to page 282. I read this? Did I get your, Cheryl? Right. I think I missed.
I said it.
You did, okay. I just suddenly looked at it and said, I think I messed one up, and I didn't. I'm glad. Thank you. Okay. Elena, page 282, with all appropriate words. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'ateit gedula liotzer b'reishit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu kimishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. 287 ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני Ushamo Echad. Please have a seat. Page 290. Is there something?
290, right?
290. Yeah. And we join together. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name, and I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come and forever and ever. We continue on to 94. Joseph F. Zaraski, brother of Richard Zaraski and brother-in-law of Betsy. Dr. Arthur Frank, brother of Stuart Frank and brother-in-law of Amber Barnhart. Dolores Rothschild, wife of Harvey Rothschild. Mark Kessler, brother of Gary Kessler. Faye Vivian Tenenhouse, mother of Joel Tenenhouse. Larry Berland, brother of Arlene Berwin. Barry Roth, brother of Bob Roth. Pearl Beller Davis, mother of Terry Benson and mother-in-law of Fred Benson. Lindsay Michelle Lippa, niece of Sherry and Wayne Worker. Keith Kelly, husband of Rona Kelly. Edith Levin, cousin of Sherry and Wayne Worker. Judy Foster, mother of Eric Foster, mother-in-law of April Foster. We remember also all those who died at this season in years past. Maurice Benson, Ruth Lou Fishman, Ruth G. Friedman, Simon Lee Friedman, Doris Green, Harry Hamill, Abraham Jacobs, Irving Carlin, Golda Lerman, Adolph H. Lubin, Irving Marblestone, Cecile Harris Myers, Mabel W. Morgan, Joseph A. Morris, Albert Morris Myers, Leah Picker Radwine, Paul A. Reisman, Caroline Salzenstein, Sophie Brooke Salzman, Edie Shangbrook, Jamie Sampson Sherman, Edward M. Singer, Paulina Smykun, Harriet L. Turkle, Louis Wald, Natalie Yaffe. Is there anybody else? Okay, please rise. 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabba, v'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei chom v'yomei chom, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv emru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mivorach leolam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnesei, V'yit hadar, v'yit halav, v'yit halal, shenei kudasha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran b'yalma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, huya asei shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to all of us and to all of Israel, to which we all say together, amen. Have a seat, turn to page 322. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu, Mi Eloheinu, Mi Chadonenu, Mi Chemalkeinu, Mi Chamoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Shabbat Shalom. We continue downstairs.